And welcome to the Russell Howard Hour. Another week, another political harassment scandal. Labour MPs have been sexting, Tory MPs have been groping, and it cost the Defence Secretary his job.
It's reported that Sir Michael Fallon was forced to quit as Defence Secretary after Cabinet colleague Andrea Leadsom complained to the Prime Minister about his alleged behaviour.
According to reports, Michael Fallon said to Andrea Leadsom, "Cold hands, I know where you can put them." Not only is that a creepy abuse of power, it doesn't make any sense. Who likes cold hands on their bollocks? I know where you can put your hands. Yeah, that's it! Oh, it's shrinking by the second! And it's not just Michael Fallon. There are so many rumours swirling around Parliament. A spreadsheet was made with some shocking details in it.
36 Tory MPs accused by aides of inappropriate sexual behaviour. In a spreadsheet compiled by aides themselves, allegations include being handsy at parties, perpetually intoxicated and inappropriate with women, even one who paid a woman to be quiet.
It's relentless. Apparently, there is a video in circulation of a male MP being urinated on by 3 men. They are meant to be dealing with Brexit and they're like, "Piss on me, Bunty! Treat me like I'm a pregnancy test." Now, we shouldn't be surprised by all this sleaze. In 2015, attempts to access porn were made almost 700 times a day by computers inside Parliament. No wonder they're asleep in the House of Commons. They're all wanked out. I would fix the country, but my balls ache. Christ, all this filth. It makes you nostalgic for the good old days, when all that happened was Cameron teabagged a pig. What have we become? Feels weird, though, doesn't it? It feels like the world is changing. Like, sexual harassment is such a big talking point that Newsnight did a show this week dedicated to it.
We've chosen to give the subject the full studio treatment. How are men behaving towards women, and what are women now prepared to say about it?
They surveyed people about what they thought was and wasn't sexual harassment, and the results were fascinating. I mean, look at this.
Trying to take a photograph up a woman's skirt, 96% said, yes, that is sexual harassment.
Now, what I want to know... who are the 4%? Oh, yeah, that's fine, isn't it? It's absolutely fine. What's wrong with that? What, you can't take a picture of a woman's fanny without her getting upset? Political correctness gone mad. There's more. Look at this.
Looking at a woman's breasts, 50% thought that is harassment.
50% of people thought that wasn't allowed, and those people are called women. It's so weird. Like, it's not just staring. Some people think this is OK.
Wolf whistling, 38%, fewer than half, thought that was harassment.
62% of people thought it was OK to see a woman and go... One, it isn't. And two, not only is that creepy, it has never, ever, ever worked. Not once. Never has it... No woman has ever gone, me? Me? It's just insane. Now, this one really got me. Most people didn't think this was dodgy either.
And a man placing his hand on a woman's lower back, 37% thought that's harassment.
It is. It's really simple, isn't it? Smaller the back, letchy. Touch your boobs, pervert. Grab your pussy, president. That's how it works. It's not just UK politics. Did you hear about Kevin Spacey?
The American actor and producer Kevin Spacey has apologised after being accused of making sexual advances towards a teenage actor in the 1980s.
The actor made a statement on social media after Anthony Rapp revealed details of the alleged incident. saying it had prompted him to declare he was now living as a gay man.
His decision to refer to his sexuality in his apology has upset LGBT campaigners who say it's irrelevant and he's using it to try to deflect attention from the allegation.
Fucking right it is! He was accused of sexual abuse and he went, I'm gay! That's got nothing to do with it! Why did you punch that out? Because I am a lesbian. You can't use your sexuality to get out of a crime. You don't see Alan Carr robbing banks. I can't help it, I'm a cockaholic. Such a pathetic excuse. And it's not the only thing he's been accused of. He allegedly exposed himself to a British barman, then gave him a £5 watch to keep quiet. Or, as the Sun put it, sleazy Spacey showed me his clock. However you put it, that is weird. Showing your dick and then giving them presents. It's like a pervert Santa, just... Here's my cock, have a Rolex. Fancy some cufflinks? Holidays are coming, holidays are coming. The only positive to come out of this is that Spacey has been sacked from his Netflix show House of Cards. At least a fictional president lost his job for sexual abuse. Now, talking of Trump, how great was this?
The Twitter president is taken offline. An employee on his final day at work goes rogue and deactivates Donald Trump's account.
Oh, what a... Yeah, brilliant. It was his last day at work and he deleted Trump's Twitter. For 11 glorious minutes, Trump did not exist. Trees were blooming, cats were hugging mice, people getting out of wheelchairs like, oh. That man will never have to buy a drink again. The Evening Standard wanted to give him a Nobel Peace Prize. The only way that could have been better is if they took over Trump's account and sent these tweets. At Barack Obama, hey, baby, let's go for a coffee. At Putin, they'll never catch us. DM me that pic of you on a horse. And my personal favourites, at Kim Jong-un, has anyone ever told you you really look like the kid from Up? I mean, come on. It's not just Twitter. It feels like the beginning of the end for Trump's presidency. Did you hear what happened to his former campaign manager?
The official inquiry into allegations of Russian meddling in last year's US presidential election has produced its first charges. President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, has been charged with money laundering and conspiracy against the United States.
Manafort is in real trouble. He's going to get the grilling of his life, and he struggles with basic questions.
So to be clear, Mr. Trump has no financial relationships with any Russian oligarchs.
That's what he said. That's what I said. That's obviously what our position is.
Well, you said he's bad, and I look a rainbow. And that wasn't the only arrest in the investigation.
George Papadopoulos, a former foreign policy advisor to Donald Trump during the election campaign, has admitted lying to the FBI.
Straight away, Trump was like, never heard of him. He was the coffee boy. Papa, who the fuck up? That's what I call him if indeed I've met him, which I haven't. I don't know George or his wife, Sandra. You show me one photo of us working together. OK, fine. But it's not like I ever spoke about the guy.
George Papadopoulos. He's an oil and energy consultant. Excellent guy.
Well, I am in a river of shit. And it's about to get worse for Trump. Listen to this.
Papadopoulos, between July and October, was wearing a wire. He was recording conversations secretly with people who are subjects and targets of this investigation.
He may have been wearing a wire around Trump in a world exclusive. Our little show has actually got hold of one of those tapes.
George Papadopoulos, as I live and breathe.
It's Papadopoulos.
Sure it is.
You said it was urgent, sir?
Have you ever seen anything like this in your life? It's called a fidget spinner. You think it's gonna stop, don't you, Papa Slapabum?
I really don't.
It will not stop. Ask me why.
I really don't have time, sir.
Ask me why.
Why won't it stop spinning?
Magic. I'm a wizard, George. A beautiful orange wizard. Anyway, I've lost track of time.
Where's your watch?
I give it away.
Why?
It's a long story.
Come on. Now, back in the UK, look at the pointless advice we were given on Good Morning Britain.
Do white people need instructions on how to talk with black and Asian colleagues about race?
No. But for some reason, a booklet, you will not believe this, a booklet has been made telling white people how to talk to ethnic minorities, and it contains helpful advice that nobody would ever fucking need.
So, here are some of the tips in the booklet. It says, if you miss the opportunity in primary school to touch a black girl's hair, it's a bit too late now.
Who is doing that at work? Hello? What do you mean this isn't allowed? Also, who was doing that at school? There were no black girls at my school. Come on, rub away! Good day at school, Russ? Yeah, Sarah let me touch her weave. It's so insane. They weren't just giving out advice about hair touching. Look at this helpful tip.
Don't ask women what they are wearing under their religious dress.
Don't ask any woman what they're wearing under their dress. You wouldn't go up to a nun and go, what are we dealing with, sister? Oh, you waxing it, girl? What's going on? Hey. Oh. Do you want to watch? Do you want to have a watch? Now, the final bit of advice was the one that really got me.
And avoid questions like, where do you really come from? Because it's offensive.
I once saw the best answer to that question, right? This bloke went up to a black guy and went, where are you from? And the guy went, Leeds. And he went, nah, originally. And this bloke went, oh, my mum's vagina. So good. Now, my favourite news story this week came from the Bible of Truth, the Sunday Sport. An old lady wanted to get a tattoo of the astrologer Russell Grant, but instead, the tattooist accidentally gave her a tattoo of me. Was the old lady happy? Not really. I wanted Russell Grant, not that cunt. It's incredible, right? Look at that tattoo, right? Look at it. Look at that, man. Like, I know, I mean, my eyes are bad, but that isn't a lazy eye. That is an eye in a coma. Also, why am I horribly burnt? It looks like they put me under a George Foreman grill. Now, join me after the break when I'll be talking to 94... Hey. I'll be talking to 94-year-old Harry Leslie Smith, who is determined to not let us repeat the mistakes of his generation. Hello, and welcome back to the show. Let's talk children's toys. I was in a shop this week looking at kids' pyjamas. Now, that's... I know that sounds dodgy, but I was with my 5-year-old cousin. Anyways, we were looking at these pyjamas, and on the boys' one, it said, I want to be a superhero, and on the girls' one, it said, I want to be a princess. And it struck me, why can't girls be superheroes? Why is it so hard to buy a present for a girl that isn't patronising and shit? Because you look at boys' toys and the adverts are all like, kill that, be a winner, climb the thing, use your brain, rule the world, because you're a motherfucking boy, yeah! Girls' adverts is just a blizzard of pink.
Let's get creative with your nails. Add dots, hearts, or stripes.
Orbeez Soothing Spa, when you need time to relax.
Shopkins, Shopkins. Stationery, homewares. It's a whole world of shopping cuteness. I'm gonna start my own clothing line.
Welcome to my salon.
You can share your pictures and get lots of likes from friends. Say hello to fashion. Say hello to shoes. Lots of shoes.
Don't use your brains, girls. Just be pretty.
The message we give girls is so toxic. I mean, look at this. This is a boy's laptop, which has 50 functions. The girls' one has 25. Why has he got half as many? You wouldn't give a girl a bike with one wheel.
Where you been, Jenny? Nowhere.
Are they saying women can't multitask? Because that's bullshit. My mum can cook dinner, feed the dogs, watch Strictly and Skype my sister all at the same time. My dad, he can't even take a shit and shut the door. All right there, Ross? Not really, Dad. I want to see you shit yourself. Also, a man's laptop doesn't need 50 functions. It just needs one. Delete history. Men have so much grot on their laptops and phones. There's going to be a whole generation of men whose dying words are, restore factory settings! And it's not just toys, it's everywhere. Look at the messages in nursery rhymes. The boys are always the winners. The girls get nothing. Old MacDonald had a farm. Mary had a little lamb. The Grand Old Duke of York had 10,000 men. Polly, put a kettle on. Jack climbed a beanstalk. What did the old woman do? Lived in a shoe. At least they tried to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. If that had been a woman, they'd have turned her into a fucking omelette. They're either witches or princesses. You can be pretty and win, or ugly and fail. Clothes are even worse. Look at the kind of message you get on a baby grow for boys. I'm super. Here's a girl's one. I hate my thighs. Who buys that for their kid? Who body shames a toddler? No 2-year-old hates their thighs because they're 2! I've never seen a toddler in front of a mirror like that.
I'm not sandpit body ready. Just in a nappy. Daddy, 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 does my bum look big in there?
It's ridiculous. Toddlers have got bigger issues to worry about, like how to use a slide. I know there'll be people going, stop moaning about this, Russ. Little girls like being pretty. Always have, always will. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe, over time, stuff like this slowly destroys their confidence. British women have the lowest self-esteem in the world. Just 20% like the way they look. Maybe that's got something to do with the fact that when they're little, boys get tops that say, time to change the world. And girls get hats that say, future footballer's wife. Think of the message that sends. Boys, you can do anything. Girls, if you're really lucky, one day you'll fuck Wayne Rooney. And then he'll fuck your nan. What I'm saying is, the toys we play with when we're kids can play a big role in what jobs we get when we're older. For example, gender toys could deter girls from a career in engineering. Toys with a science focus are 3 times more likely to be targeted at boys. We should be telling girls to look pretty. We should be encouraging them to create, build, solve, explore, so that when they're older, they have the confidence to get the kind of jobs we need. Right now, the UK has the lowest percentage of female engineers in Europe. We need more women in science. Think about it. Why would you want to discourage half the population from doing jobs that can make the world better? Little girls could grow up and cure cancer, reverse climate change, or finally create a self-closing door so I don't have to watch my dad take a shit. The point I'm making, if there's any toy manufacturers watching this, stop reinforcing these bullshit stereotypes. We shouldn't be telling little girls to hate their thighs or giving them half a laptop or making toys like Pole Dance Polly. And we definitely shouldn't be saying they can't be superheroes, because they can. I mean, look at this little legend teach a boy what a girl can be.
Just watch me for this bit. Watch me.
Out on the grass, Eva is teaching Jude some karate moves to shake up his idea of what little girls are really made of.
Why can't girls be scientists?
Because they make silly potions. I extracted the DNA from a banana once. This is your front kick. Yay! Go!
What's important for girls when they grow up?
To go to work, vote, definitely. Yay! Girls used to not vote. And then they were these girls who fighted to vote. They were very silly women because they got killed. Yay! 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 So it's very important to girls to vote, otherwise that will happen again. Yay! Yay!
I think Eva's earned his respect.
Yeah.
And he's following her and trying to learn from her.
Come on. Now I say it. Oh.
Now that is a superhero. Now it's time for a fresh edition of Playground Politics. This week, me and the children of the world discussed celebrity. Would you like to be famous when you're older?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
What for?
For singing.
Singing?
Yeah, I don't really like to sing in front of people I don't really know.
It's going to be difficult, that, isn't it?
I would like to be like Justin Bieber, One Direction. I want to make my own band up.
What kind of songs?
Some Spanish songs.
Yeah. Who do you like that's famous? Who's your hero?
One of my favourite singers is One Direction.
One Direction. But they've split up, haven't they?
Yeah, but they said they were going to get back together.
I've met Harry Styles.
Really?
If I see Harry, what should I say?
Thank you for getting back together.
Thank you for getting back together. But they haven't got back together yet.
But they are.
Okay.
If I could have the chance to be on one TV show, I would actually pick to be on House Hunters Renovation, and I would totally not pick to be on The Bachelor because that looks so stupid from the ads I've seen for it.
Do you know who Ant and Dec are? Let me tell you. Ant and Dec are two little fellows that live in England. I know, yes, and the two little fellows come out.
So cute.
They are very cute indeed, and you want to stroke them. And they're Britain's pets in many ways.
I would like to be famous, but not in a way that I would be like a pop star. I would want to be like a doctor or a scientist who found a cure for diabetes or something like that.
That's a brilliant answer. Do you know who Kim Kardashian is?
Yes.
I've heard of him, but I don't know who he is.
What do you think he's like? What does Kim Kardashian do?
I think maybe he makes movies or shows. I don't know.
He's made one movie, and that's why he's famous. Who's your favourite famous person?
I know who. You.
Thank you very much. My guest this week is a war veteran, a campaigner and an inspiration, and he's 94 years old.
My character has been forged by the experiences I witnessed during the Second World War. As the war drew to a close, I thought I had seen everything and believed nothing could surprise me when it comes to the cruelty of so-called civilized men. But when my unit arrived in Hamburg as part of the occupation army in May 1945, I encountered in their thousands refugees from the war who had fled the advancing Soviet army and the victims of Hitler's Holocaust against the Jews. Last November, I traveled to Calais to see the jungle for myself. I met those refugees seeking entry into Britain and a life free from the wars of their homelands. It wasn't a pretty place, and it reminds me sadly too much of how the world looked 71 years ago. Today, politicians in Britain have turned their back on humanity, which is as brutal as averting your eyes from a sinking ship.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the author of Don't Let My Past Be Your Future, Harry Leslie Smith. Harry, thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Harry.
It's my pleasure.
Now, there's many reasons I love you. The first is I've interviewed many people down the years. I've never had an email the day before from a person saying, I will be wearing a leather jacket. And I love that.
You'd be surprised how cold it gets for an old fella.
But not only are you protected from the cold, but you look pretty fly.
Well, you know, you got to keep your appearance up.
So tell me about, you went to the Calais jungle. What was that like?
Well, quite honestly, I was in a wheelchair when I went into the Calais gateway, and after a little while, a crowd of refugees came around, and they wanted to lift me up in the chair and carry me through the jungle.
That's like that bit in Star Wars when they go mad over C-3PO.
It's always frightening if you see people living under those terrible conditions.
So tell me about your book.
My book describes the type of life I led from being born to the present day.
Wow.
It is about the life that ordinary workers endured from the 1920s to 1932 at least. It was a frightful thing. Hunger was a daily occurrence. It was a terrible time. I remember getting up in the morning, my sister going to the cupboard and turning around and saying, "No good, Harry, it's empty." No food in the morning. And I would tramp to school, and my stomach was just crying out for some sustenance.
Wow. And do you find it, it's so sad that what you're describing there, we did a bit on the show a couple of weeks ago about malnutrition in English schools now. Does that astonish you that we're in the same mess that you were in when you were young?
It astonishes me and it frightens me.
Yeah.
Because I see a return to those bad old days that I remember so well, unless we wake up to the reality that we cannot be feeding our people with the use of food banks, which are increasing daily. I'm not a politician, I'm not a journalist. I'm just an ordinary man who is disgusted at how Britain has gone downhill so fast and furious.
But that's what the world needs. It needs ordinary men screaming from the top of their lungs to fix it. If I was 94, I'd probably be sat on my arse, watching UK Gold, asking the nurses, bring me chocolate, bring me chocolate. And yet, you're out there trying to help us, trying to talk to young people.
It doesn't take a lot of work. It's just that you have to get together and form groups, join unions, join anything that lets you discuss what's happening in the country today. It's just nonsense that we can let governments get away with what they do.
Yeah.
We have to feel that we're one unit, one strong people, that we've always kicked ass, and somehow or other we've forgotten how to do that, you know.
And you're the man to show us how to kick ass again. It's so, I love it. It just feels like we're about to go into battle and you're on a horse in front of us, just circling. It's beautiful, yeah.
You know,
I hope that I reach your age, and I hope I have the same fire in my heart that you have.
I had an uncle who lived to be 102.
Oh, wow, so you're a spring chicken.
And he went down to the pub every lunchtime for a pint.
Right.
And
so not only is he 102, he's probably lost a lot of those years as well. Just through being
That's right.
So do you think that's the secret?
He was a miserable old bugger.
Was he?
There's nobody like the Brits for expressing their disappointment of what's going on.
Well, you're very good at expressing your feelings, particularly where the NHS is concerned. There's a beautiful tweet we have here of you talking about Jeremy Hunt. If a dog's ass could talk, it would sound like Jeremy Hunt.
Really says it all.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, the reason why the NHS is probably so dear to you is that you were born before it existed. Like, we don't know what it's like to not have that. What was it like before the NHS?
If you had money, you could see a doctor or go to a hospital. If you didn't have money, you just had the local cures, which, of course, were not for the type of diseases that were spreading at that time, which was tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Now, my sister contracted it, one of my sisters, Marion, and she was a cripple for most of her young life. We pushed her around in a long cart made out of bamboo. And as a young boy, I used to sit beside her playing with my toys, and I would talk to her, but she couldn't speak because it had wrecked her throat muscles. It was really a very great tragedy. My mother looked after her for years, until in the end she said to my dad, she said, "I'm sorry, I just can't look after her anymore." So we called a horse and cart and put her in the back and took her to the workhouse infirmary, and she died there. She was 15 or so. And we didn't have money to bury her, so she was thrown into a pauper's pit, which was used if you couldn't afford to plot. It's a real tragedy.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, my father ended in a pauper's pit in this
and now,
city.
now his son is on TV trying to make the world a better place. So, you know, maybe there's, you know, this is classic Howard to try and find hope in sorrow, but we can't go back to the old days where if you have money, you live.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, you die.
That's the old secret of the NHS.
Yeah. Now, the final thing, you're 95 in February. What are you going to do? How are you going to celebrate?
Oh, we always celebrate. My son and
doubt it.
I.
I thought we'd celebrate early, actually. I've got you some sherry here.
I thought we'd have a little toast. Ladies and gentlemen, to Harry Leslie Smith. There you are, sir. Down it, down it. It's all right, isn't it?
Boy,
Yeah. Should we go out?
I haven't been treating myself enough, I remember now.
Yeah. Well, you've got a bottle in your dressing room. I really enjoyed that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you did. The wonderful Harry Leslie Smith. Join me after the break to see what good deeds you've been up to. Back to the show. Now, it's time for your good deeds, where we look at all the wonderful things you've seen and wanted to share this week. Leon Barney tweeted me, gave her my seat on a bus for a pregnant woman after getting off the bus. I was feeling proud that I walked into a tree she saw. Ben Capener got in touch to say my wife made Russell Howard cookies for my daughter's birthday. I mean, they've got the eyes right, they didn't get the skin tone. Look, I look like a Picasso poo emoji. There's a lovely one here from Dale. I moved a voicemail from a customer's granddad who recently passed from an old phone to a new phone so she could still hear his voice. Pretty sweet. And finally, we've been talking about heroes this week, so I wanted to share this inspirational story.
My name is Jared Murphy. I'm 22. And I'm a C5 tetraplegic.
In the early hours of July the 30th, I got a call to say my brother had been in an accident. He dived into a lake in Sweden and hit his head on a rock, fracturing his spine, leaving him paralysed in both legs, hands and wrists. After being moved between 3 hospitals, he's been given a bed at the National Spinal Injury Centre in Stoke Mandeville. Here, Jared is getting the rehabilitation needed for his new life ahead. He tells me that the positivity from everyone around him is what keeps him going. In reality, especially for my family, it's the other way around.
You've not cried throughout any of this, right? No. Why not? Very early on, I turned around to myself and I said, there is no point getting upset. There is no point looking back and thinking, oh, if I jumped slightly to the left or slightly to the right of that rock, or if I decided not to jump in, if I hadn't been at that bar that night, you know, if I hadn't gone to Sweden, it's almost irrational to think that.
As someone who spent most of their teens arguing and playing football with Jared, I know it's his competitive side driving him forward.
Using my iPad screen as a mirror.
He just sees this as another challenge.
I won't let it change me. To be honest, a lot of like the everyday tasks, I kind of look at them like a PlayStation game, which is really funny, like learning to, I don't know, push myself or to eat. So it's a bit of a game.
Jared is already making quick progress in his recovery. He can now feed himself and use a specially adapted wheelchair on his own.
I can wheel around myself and turn around corners, and you know, I'm getting there. And it'll be a long journey, but it's what I'm looking forward to. I'm proud of you. Thank you. I love you. I love you too.
Although there have been difficult moments, every time I see Jared's infectious smile, it reminds me that the boy I shared a room with growing up has turned out to be my own hero.
Well done. Now, who is your hero? Tweet me, let me know using the hashtag RHDeeds, and I will put that hero on the show. Now, it's time for my stand-up guest of the week. Please welcome the wonderful Paul Chowdhry!
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the conversion. just grow a bit of a beard. You've got a nice beard there. Dave, how long did that beard take you to grow, man? 9 years. I grew this on the walk up. We're hairy people, innit? Have a look at her. She's pretty fit. I've got that kind of, like, straight out of Syria look. I've got that one-way ticket look. Doesn't help, though, because I get a call from my agent the other day.
Hi, Paul. Newsnight have called up. They want to talk to you about what it's like being a Muslim.
Yeah, I'm not Muslim.
No, but they want to talk to you about what it's like growing up being a Muslim.
Yeah, I didn't grow up being a Muslim.
Yeah, but they want to talk to you about all the Muslim things, the things you did about being Muslim, and all the things you could do being a Muslim, what it's like being a Muslim.
I said, well, I need to find a Muslim comedian to talk about this kind of stuff. I'm the wrong person to talk about this kind of shit, you know what I mean?
Don't worry, Paul, they'll find someone else. It's only £1,000.
I said, you know what? Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. Inshallah. It affects my life. I mean, I remember when Westminster Bridge happened, I got a notification on my Facebook account.
Hi, Paul. Can you mark yourself as safe?
What? All right.
Hi, guys. Paul Chowdhry here. Just to let you all know, I'm safe.
I was in Scotland at the time. Well, that was my alibi.
But Paul Chowdhry...
Guess what? I got 3 likes. Technically, I just survived a terrorist attack. I got 3 bastard likes. I would have got more likes if I died.
Oh, my God, he's dead. Like. He survived. Oh, fuck him.
In fact, the terrorist who died in that attack got more likes than me. I looked on his page, he got 600-700 likes. I was so pissed off, man, I just pressed unfriend. That's the problem. This is affecting my life. I remember, like ISIS, they claim everything now, innit? We did it. No, you didn't. George Michael, we did it. Harambe, we did it. Well, you killed a gorilla in America a year ago. We had a similar situation in London, didn't we? Gorilla busted out of the cage in London Zoo, started walking about and shit. Because we don't kill gorillas in this country. They got rights. Started walking, they can't do shit to me, brother, innit? Yeah, what are they gonna do, cuz? You know what the gorilla did? Walked into the kitchen and drank 16 litres of undiluted Ribena. That is some gangster shit right there. You ever try to drink a glass of undiluted Ribena? That'll finish you off straight. He's like, if I'm going out with diabetes, innit? You can't do shit to me, cuz. In America, you should remember that Haram, the kid dropped in, people were out.
Oh, my God, they shouldn't have shot the gorilla. They should have shot the parents.
It's a good idea, isn't it? Let's shoot the parents. Now, the kid's got 2 dead parents, and he's living with a fucking gorilla. I swear, ISIS ain't helping anything. This is the whole thing. I mean, I know it must be hard for the police to find these kind of culprits in this country. There's a guy responsible for London Bridge attacks. His name was Khurram Bhatt, right? This guy was responsible for London Bridge, and he was in a TV show for Channel 4 last year called The Jihadis Next Door. He had his own TV show. He was in a TV show called The Jihadis Next Door, and the police were like, we didn't have a clue, mate. He's the jihadi. Hang on a second, mate, we didn't know his location. He was next door. The bastard just told you. Doesn't help with my look either, I tell you, though, you know, like, this is the whole thing. I can't even get into America anymore. You guys know what I'm talking about, innit? And this is gonna sound racist, but when I travel, I ain't traveling with you lot, man. I'm traveling with Dave, Sharon, and John over here. And Jemima and shit. That's who I'm traveling with. Last time I tried to get into America, I got Dave, and Dave goes, I said, how are we going to get in? He goes, just say what I do for a living, mate. We'll both get in. All right, mate, yeah, all right. Just copy me, and we'll both get in. Dave gets to this. They go, so what do you do for a living? Dave goes, I work in recruitment. Go right through.
Guys! You prick!
You've been a great crowd. Thanks for your time. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Paul Chowdhry! Thank you for watching. Good night, my friends. Good night!